people. Today we're going to do a set of hydrangea nails. I have encapsulated hydrangea petals into this set. So let's get started. Firstly, I hope you guys can't hear the weed whacker guy next door. Hopefully it's not picking up on this as I'm recording it. Of course, he had to decide to do that today on my recording voiceover day. Anyway, we're going in with this. This is the main color we're using on the nails that are going to be polished. I know you guys don't usually like these off-brand polishes, but I had bought a set of these to try them out, and they're not bad, actually. Clean up underneath, and we'll cure those. The other two are going to have the hydrangeas on them. So we're going in with coat number 2. This set took me about an hour and 15 minutes to do. So it was pretty simple. I think pretty much everybody should be able to handle this. I chose this color because it went perfectly with the hydrangea petals that I have. And these are a medium length oval set. Okay, moving on. Now these hydrangea petals I got from AliExpress, believe it or not. They came in a bag that was like pumped full of air so that you couldn't crush it, so they really were shipped nicely. I'm just going to cut a few of these off. I ended up cutting off way more than I needed, but better to have too much than not enough, especially in my case when I usually end up messing stuff up and I got to redo things. Luckily for me this time that wasn't the case. So what I'm going to now do is cut all those stems off, or most of them, and I'm just going to clip these off. Now originally I bought these flower petals to use in a resin project that I have in mind. I haven't gotten around to it yet, and since I didn't have a plan for a nail set this week and I saw them sitting there, I just said, okay, I'm just going to do those. So here we are. Like I said, they came shipped really nicely. They weren't super expensive, and you could get a choice of colors. Of course, I chose the purple blue one. They had pink ones, and then they had some kind of greenish ones. I mean, you guys know the colors that hydrangeas will grow in. I would like to be growing some of those here, but I don't think they'll survive out here where I'm at. I think it's going to just get too hot for them. But anyway, I'm just going to continue to cut these apart. And I know I have more than enough here already. I think this is the last one. Okay, and I think we're ready to go. I'm going to start off with the thumb, and we're going to put a thin layer of base coat on it. And this is just to hold them down and keep them still. And we're going to get one here. Now originally I was going to take them apart and just use the little roundy petals separately, but they looked kind of cool the way they were, and I managed to get them to fit mostly on there, so I decided to leave them whole. And then we're going to use the LED flashlight with the stamper head to press them down so they will cure flat, making encapsulation that much easier. I know it looks like I'm pressing hard against there, but I'm really not. And see there, nice and flat. Now we're just going to nip off that little piece of stem that's sticking up there. This one got on upside down, that's why the stem is sticking up. Otherwise the stems should be on the bottom, but they pretty much look the same on the top and the bottom. And I'm also going to nip off a little bit of the petal that's hanging over the edge of the nail. That guy there. Off he goes. Okay, and then that one's ready for the next step. And I'm going to show you one more on on the ring finger. We're going to do the same thing. Frankly, as far as encapsulating stuff goes, this really went nice and easy for me. Usually I struggle with this a little bit, but these flower petals laid down so nice and flat that just everything just worked out quite nicely. Now this one's kind of all squinched up, so I'm gonna try and flatten it out. If I can get them separated, then I'm just gonna press it down with my finger and hope that that helps to hold it a little bit better than it was. Now this one I've got going on here with the right side up. That's why it's not wanting to lay as well, because, oh no, I don't. Okay, now it is the right side up. As I said, they look pretty much the same on the top and the bottom, so I guess it really doesn't matter which way they go for this thing. But we're just going to cure them down again. Flatten them down. Now this only takes a few seconds. I usually give it like maybe 10 seconds or so just to flash cure the base coat and get those to stick down good. And there we have it. A little bit of trimming on the edge. This one I left the stem on because it was laying nice and flat. And then the other two I will do off camera. And we will be ready to move on to the next step. It is going to be my old nemesis, builder gel. Oh, how I hate that stuff. Okay, ready for moving on. Now this builder gel that I have is from Born Pretty. I've had it for quite a while. It's got little tiny bits of what used to be purple flowers in it. I was kind of upset to find out as I was opening this, because I only have used it one time, and now that I'm opening it, I was realizing that the purple flowers have leached into the gel, because the gel used to be clear with little purple flowers. Now it's pink gel with kind of pinky flowers. They're not really purple anymore, but since I didn't have another plan, I already had decided to use this, I just went with it. It was much prettier when it had the purple flowers and the gel was clear. But we're going to make it work. And the reason I don't like builder gel is because I usually don't have a very good time with it. It's sticky as heck. It gets everywhere and you just can't, it seems like I can't get rid of it. Everything ends up sticky. But since I was only going to lay a very thin layer of this on top, just to get these little flowers on there and cover the flower, the hydrangea petals a little bit. Now you see most of the little tiny flowers have kind of gone by the wayside here. They're really I didn't know that they were like bleach the color out of there like that, so that's something to think about if you've got any of this stuff. If you haven't used it in a while, it's probably not going to look like it did when you first got it. I could have just taken regular builder gel and chopped up some dried little flower bits in there, but I'm kind of lazy like that. I'm just going to spread them out a little bit. I want to make sure that the hydrangea petals are fully covered. We don't need a lot, just a thin layer. Also adding a few more of the little tiny flower bits. And there's a little hole in the middle. I just want to put some over top of that and make sure that that petal is fully covered, as I said. Now, thank goodness the neighbor guy has stopped for now. Oh, a little hole again, covering that up. That's going to be ready to cure. I'm going to get the other one done. Actually, I got all 4 of them done, but I'm only going to show you this next other little one. And then I will cure these for 2 minutes. Then we have to wipe down the tacky layer that will be on there, which I didn't record. So just know that we do that. I basically wanted to get those little flower bits spread out in the negative space, not so much on top of the other petals. But some of them ended up there anyway, but that's okay. And then, as I said, we're going to cure all of them now for 2 minutes, and we're back. I have already wiped these down, take the tacky layer off, and now I'm going on with a very hefty layer of my tempered top coat. And I'm putting on 2 thick layers of this top coat, which I'm only going to show you guys the one. Just know there's a second one that's going to be on there. Once I get that, both coats on all 4 of these, it will be time for the old file and buff routine, which we're about to start. Now I'm using a 100-180 grit file, a hard file for the edges to get those cleaned up and back to a shape in case they went wonky. This one wasn't that bad, but a couple of the little ones were. And then I switched to the same grit buffer file for the rest of it. I want it to be nice and smooth. A little bit of stuff on the edge that needed off. And this is sped up, obviously. But I will do that, the rest of these off camera. But all of them the same way. And as soon as I'm happy with how smooth it is, we'll be done. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the next step, which was a last minute addition. I decided I wanted some butterflies on the purple nails because you guys know me, I can't leave a nail plain. It just drives me crazy if there's nothing on it. It just looks so plain and boring to me. Anyway, these decals came from AliExpress, of course, where most of my stuff comes from. I'm using 2 of the bigger ones of the lighter purple, whoopsie, like that one, and then 2 of the smaller, darker purple ones. And after we get these cut out, we're going to use the stamper method to get them onto the nails. We're going to lay it upside down on the stamper head, and we're going to put some water on the back of it and let it sit. Plain water. Now this stamper is got a rip in it, as you can see right there near the top of that. I ruined this one, so I basically just use it for this now. It works great for that. You're going to let that sit there for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. And then we'll check it. And when I'm putting these on, I'm putting the butterflies so that their head is facing the nail that they're closest to with that has the hydrangea part in it. And when you see the finished picture, or you have seen it at the beginning, you'll know what I mean. You'll get it. That just made more sense to me as they're going towards the flower. Okay, and on we go. And then I'll just take a tissue and kind of blot the excess water off of there. Make sure that it's all laying down smooth, and then we'll set that aside to dry. And the other one, this is the only other one I'm going to show you. This is going to be with one of the little darker ones. Or wait, no, this is the bigger one. I forget. We'll see when it gets on there. I think this is the bigger one. Same thing. You'll notice my own nails are looking a bit worse for wear. I'll be redoing them next week, so that'll be next week's set. I'm going to be using that thread gel again like I did on my Valentine ones, but only in white this time. So this time I'll not forget to hit record, and so you'll get to see how it actually works. Now this guy was over a little too close to the edge, so I tried to move him over just a skosh, but he really was stuck down pretty decently and he didn't want to move that much, so I moved him a tiny bit, but not a lot. He's kind of sticking over a little bit at one point. Also, you'll notice at the bottom of this nail, there's some stuff there, right there. That was on my stamper. I don't know exactly where it came from. It must have picked it up somehow off the decal sheet or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to take some alcohol on a wipe here and scrub it off. It came off fairly easily. And again, we're going to set this aside to dry. I nipped off the very little tip of his wing, but there wasn't that much really there. Okay, and there's where we are so far. I'll do the other ones off camera. Then we're ready for the final thing, home stretch. Top coating time. Now I'm just putting a regular layer of top coat. This is the tempered top coat. I'm not putting it on real heavy. We're just going to get these guys all coated up. And then that'll be it for them. And we'll cure those. 60 seconds. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the last step. We got to do the underside of these clear ones. So I'm cleaning the back side of this off with some alcohol, just to make sure there's no blue tack on there or dust or whatever else. And then I'm going to flip them upside down, stick them back on there. And then we're going to coat the underside with top coat also, just a thin layer. That one gave me so much trouble about staying on there. So did that pinky nail. I think I need to put some new blue tack on those. Now we're just going to put, as I said, a very thin coat on these undersides. And once I get it coated, I'll wipe my brush all the way off in the bottle, and then I'll run it down the center again just to get anything that has pooled up in there. What we don't want to end up with is a puddle of top coat in the middle, because then when you go to wear the nails, it's not going to lay flat on your nail and it's not going to fit right. Therefore, it will pop off. Okay, and same thing with this one. And then we will give these a 60-second cure after I get that on there. And in they go, and there they are, all done. See how much more clear they look now? Okay, if you like this set, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like. And if you want to see more, I upload a new tutorial every Saturday. And as I said, I'll be doing my own nails next time with white thread gel and some pastel flowers. Okay, that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next week. Bye-bye.